And welcome back to Who'd Win. Today's Who'd Win comes to us from, was it Brad or Craig? Brandon Craig. Who asked the question? Whoop. Who won the fight? The Great White from Jaws versus a Titanoboa. I don't do a lot of the killer animal fights very often, but every once in a while I'll do one. And as long as it's including an animal from like a movie or something like that. And in Jaws, Bruce the shark qualifies. Bruce was a rogue. Great white shark. They've disproven that whole theory long ago at this point. Was a rogue great white shark. He was, as Quinn said, 25 feet, 3 tons on him. And he was as powerful as a great white shark would be at that size. He was capable of sinking a relatively large boat, taking multiple damage from gunfire, stab wounds. Ultimately, was blown up by an air tank. Could swim extremely fast, was extremely powerful, and like all his great whites, is capable of doing a swim, charge, bite, and rip apart. Being a great white shark, and he said, Hoopa, basically said that he held a tooth the size of a shot glass in his hand. And that's how that bite force on a shark that size would be immense. It would tear most animals to pieces. What about a Titanoboa? Titanoboa was a species of giant constrictor that existed between about 58 to 60 million years ago. Probably, it existed longer than that, but still, it came and went pretty fast. They lived in the tropical. Where did they actually live, by the way? Classification, habitat. Due to the warm and greenhouse climate of the Paleocene, the region of what is now Carillon was covered in wet tropical rainforest. Anyway, it lived in wet tropical forests, eating, just about anything it could eat, including crocodiles, which is probably a big part of its diet. Size-wise, we're talking about an animal that is believed to have grown to a minimum of 42 feet, perhaps even 47/50 feet long, and weighing up to 1.5 tons. Not to mention, this is an animal that was capable of crushing very large animals to death, breaking bones, shattering organs, all that, just by constricting it. It was most likely at home, most comfortably in the water, as modern-day anacondas are, even articulated pythons, Burmese pythons. Bigger constrictors tend to gravitate towards water because they have buoyancy, can move swifter, so forth and so on. Now, in a hypothetical where a Titanoboa still, I keep saying Titana, but it's Titano. Titanoboa still existed and hypothetically made its way out to the ocean and wound up suddenly attacking Bruce the shark while he was attacking Quint, Brody, and Hooper. And they're just wishing, I don't believe it, Jim. That can't be right. Jim? What's Chief Bro? What was Brody's full name? So it was Matt Hooper. It was, I don't actually know what Quint's full name was. Martin Brody. It's like, Martin, I don't understand what I'm looking at. It's a giant ass snake. Ow. I just hit my toe on the chair. Moving on. So yeah. The problem for any sort of snake, even a big snake in a fight with a shark, is very much sharks' jaws and teeth are a biological weapon that they are not evolved to deal with. Even the thickest of snakes on the planet, like the anaconda probably would be the best example. It's the heftiest snake. Maybe against like a bull shark, it might be able to take a hit. But if you're talking about a great white whose mouth could probably take a giant chunk of that snake's body and its mouth whole and just bite down hard, the minute the shark, its teeth are serrated like steak knives, the minute it gets a bite in on that snake, particularly in any real vital area, it's over for the snake. Even if the snake somehow managed to win, it wouldn't matter because they would just bleed out. Now, if it maybe bit down on, like, say, the tail or something like that of the snake, very bit, like took a tip off, we might be looking at it. The snake could probably last longer. But snakes do not have a lot of stamina to begin with. Sharks also have only limited stamina. The Titanoboa could wrap around the shark. It definitely could. 25 feet versus 47 feet is the believed maximum. Let's round that up even to be nice and say 50. Sure, the snake is not going to be eating the 25-foot long shark because that is literally half of its body length. And it's a much, I think, as a animal, the Bruce, the way it's depicted, probably would have been maybe it would have been too big. I don't know for certain. It would have been a very big meal had it succeeded. And it still would have had to gotten over the dorsal fin, all that. But the snake still has to constrict the shark. And the shark has the advantage of not having to breathe oxygen through the air. So it can just go down to the depths and just wait for the snake to just, I mean, it most likely had a very good lungs that could hold its breath for a while. But most likely, Bruce could start shaking it, hitting it against coral reefs. The snake would dislodge, and either he gets a bite in the head or he gets a chunk out of the midsection. Either way, he's taking a bite out of that snake, and the Titanoboa is bleeding out and dying, or is just decapitated right out. So, as much as I am a snake guy, snakes are among my favorite animals. I would give this one to the shark. Bruce would take it, in my opinion. But this is just my opinion. What do you think? You think the Titanoboa would win a fight with Bruce, or do you think Bruce? G'day, Bruce. Do you think Bruce would be the champ? Bruce the champ. Emmanuel Kent was a great percent. He was very rarely stable. Anyway, I digger with a shifty bag of drink you under the table. I had that Monty Python at the Hollywood Bowl book, and I just reread it every now and then. Honestly, it's in the bathroom. We just sit down when you have to when you need your constitutional, you just let me see if I can remember this off the top of my head. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.